Streaming. Everybody, Happy New Year again. I am on FabFit Friday number 1 of my Reorganize, Clean my Studio 2024, and I want to just say the struggle is real. I thought I was going to be able to simply, whiz through my patterns, make those cool bags that I shared during the New Year's Day live, and that worked out to be a little trickier than I thought, because I started going through all of my patterns, and it ended up that I realized that I have to do a little bit more work before I can plan what bags I need to make, because I have a lot of patterns. I didn't realize. I mean, I knew I had a lot, but I didn't realize that I had so many. Hey Shirley, Happy New Year. Hey Barbara, welcome. So basically, I'm standing up. You can see I'm higher than usual because I have my under the bed storage container on my chair full of patterns, so I can show you what I'm dealing with. And then I'm going to talk about some things I'm going to do with my patterns before I actually make more of the clear vinyl bags. Hey Janie, welcome. Now, if you missed the New Year's Day special live I did, I showed how to make a clear vinyl protective cover for pattern pieces that I can hang on the wall and also not fold up my pattern. So I'm going to be making a set of those for my patterns going forward. Hey Diane, welcome. But before I can do that, I need to really organize my patterns. And I just want to say that I had an unexpected sewing project that I had to do. Now, if you follow me on my Instagram and Facebook, you might have seen that my little puppy Dasha decided to eat a hole in the new dog bed that we got. So I sewed that up. Phyllis is excited to see my studio reimagined. Well, it may be a few weeks before we can see the reimagination of it, because this is going to be a lot of work. I feel like I'm standing in a room that has layers and layers and layers that I have to get through to get that studio tip-top shape. Hey Sandra, oh, from Honolulu, can I come over there with you? We're going to get a snowstorm this weekend, our first snow of like 3 years. I'm kind of excited for it, actually. Hey, Sally, how are you? Happy New Year. Oh, Sally, I don't know if you know about this, but I watched a Netflix reality show about this couple in Alaska that had been living in the middle of nowhere in Alaskan woods. And they built a 3-story home over the course of 30 years. And they decided now they're too old to maintain it, so they want to sort of retire. And they did a show called Win the Wilderness, where 6 couples from Britain all competed to win their home in Alaska. And I was thinking about you like the whole time I was watching the show. So if you have Netflix and you want to watch something really cool and you're into wilderness reality shows, it was a very good show. All right, that was an aside. All right, so I am going to be showing you some things today. The first thing I want to show you is, it is an Barbara says archaeological dig. That's exactly what I feel like. And let me tell you something. I had to make emergency Roman shades. I'm going to show you that in a minute, because my puppy dog decided to pull the Roman shades that have been hanging in my windows since I made them when I moved into this house off the windows. So let me just show you what I was dealing with here. Whoops, not that. Hold on. Hold. So look at this. This is my little bay window in the living room, and I think you can see here that the right shade was completely torn down. The middle shade is holding on by one staple, and if you look close, you can see she tore into all of the insulated lining there. So I had to really take some time to make new Roman shades because these windows are so drafty that when you're sitting on the couch in front of it, you would need to wear a hat if they're not covered. That's one of our projects for the spring, to maybe, rehab these windows. But I had to do something because I felt like I was living in a fishbowl at night because the house next door had lots of bright lights and shining into our living room. Plus, I felt like everybody could see us. So that was number one. Plus, it was freezing. Diane says, "Oh dear, I love your puppy so much." Yeah, not so much today, but I do love her. We did go for a hike, so I'm hoping today she'll be happier to not demolish anything new before I can replace and fix. But let me start by showing you. This is what I found for my replacement Roman shades. I think that's kind of pretty. And if you guys live in a cold area and you want to cover windows to save electricity or to keep your heat in, the Warm company that makes cotton batting for quilting also makes this thermal lining for Home Dec. So it's got a lining fabric that's really nice on this side, and then if I turn it over, you can see it's got sort of a layer of some sort of plastic that helps insulate it, and then you can see the batting itself is got extra stuff in there to be insulating. So basically this is really cool stuff. So I bought a bunch of this, I got the fabric, and I made 3 new Roman shades. My husband is off getting a new pneumatic staple gun so we can put these new things up. And I have another solution because she's been digging holes in our new bed, the new bed we got her. So what we're going to do is, they like to be up on the up high off the ground. So I had that big ottoman that the old bed was on. The new bed's too big for that. So I'm going to make just a whole like sturdy cover for that, and I'm just going to put it on, and every time she rips the cover, I'll try to fix it. But I'm going to cover the ottoman with something cushy, and if she tears it up, I'm just going to cover it again, and I'm just going to keep covering it until I can't take it anymore. So that's what I'm going to do with the puppy dog. I'm hoping that she's going to grow out of this, but for now it's been a lot of work. So I did spend a bunch of hours making these Roman shades, so I didn't have a ton of time to work on my studio. But what happened was, when I was trying to work on the Roman shades, that's a big project. Like, I think it was 57 inches long by 38 inches wide was the middle window. I couldn't work in my studio. I had to go work on the dining room table because I didn't have room. Now that's one of the reasons why I'm redoing my studio. So when I want to work in my studio, I can work in my studio without having to run up and down the stairs. So it was a sort of a slap reminder that I really need to get this studio going. So that's number one. Number two, I just want to show you something here. If you guys watched my New Year's Day, you might have seen me open my Sew Tights Sew and Store stand that they sent me. And I proceeded to take the Sew Tights, take the backings off, because I thought you had to, and then stick them on like this. And then Janet so nicely suggested that I try to stick the Sew Tights on the stand as is. But what I realized was, if you have a lot of Sew Tights, you might run out of room. And I noticed that the Sew Tights actually stick on better if you put them on their side. And I'm just going to turn it sideways so you can see. So see how I have them just sticking on their sides? So you can see how that would be a really great space saver if you have a lot of Sew Tights and you just have one of these sew-in stores, you can fit a lot more on if you stack them sideways. So I put one flat so I can see which one it is, and then I'm going to stack all the same version either above it or below it to save space. Oh, hi Linda Lee. I'm happy you're watching from bed. I hope you're healing fast. All right, so that's my little update on that. And so the next thing I want to show you here, this is when I realized I was going to be in trouble. I started pulling patterns out of my box, and let me show you my box. So this is my pattern box in all its glory. See that? And you can see it is stuffed with patterns. And the other thing is I have a built-in cedar closet that's sort of in the back of one of my closets in here. And I looked in there and I think I have another bin of patterns in there. So, oh, Pat goes, Janet was nice. The rest of us were yelling and laughing. Oh my God. Well, you know, I did not research how to use this sew-in store magnetic holder before I came on live. So, you know, sometimes I do silly things. So there you are. Oh, Zuri. Oh, okay. So there's a couple questions about what sew tights are used for. Sew tights are a magnetic pin. So for example, if I wanted to pin something together that I couldn't actually make holes in, or if I wanted to hold layers together, what you do is let me show you. Let's pretend I want to use my sew tights to organize my pattern pieces. So like, let's say I'm going to be working with these and I just want to keep them together temporarily. And you know, if you keep pinning patterns together, you're going to end up with lots of holes. So you can use this. You put the metal backing underneath, and then you put this on top, and see, then your patterns stay attached. See that? And they don't fall off. So I use these for all sorts of things. I've used them to weight down hems. I've used them to help me position and hold fabric in the hoop when I'm doing machine embroidery. I've used them for all sorts of things. And actually, I have a Cool Tools video showing how to use these. They also have a magnetic cutting board, and these booster magnets work with the ruler, which I can show you another day because it's way back there in my stuff. But basically, these sew tights are amazing to use to pin things together and hold layers together, especially when you don't want to make holes. And they come in a variety of strength, magnet strength. And I did put my affiliate link in the description below. So if you want to check them out, you get 15% off your entire purchase. So that's kind of a cool thing. They have the best affiliate program. I love it when I can have an affiliate link where I get a little bit, but then also my followers get a benefit from it as well. So definitely check those out. I mean, you can get 15% off this. You can get 15% off the sew-in store thing as well. All right, so let me just put this back. I really, really love them. I use them all the time. All the time. And now I won't lose them because clearly they're nice and organized on there. All right, so that's sew tights. So I just wanted to show you, this is my vintage from 2009, my first jeans pattern. This is a non-stretch jeans pattern. And what I want to show you is here. First, when I first used this pattern, I just cut it out of the tissue and I sewed it. And you can see over time, you can see my butt expanded and my inner thighs expanded. So you can see I slashed and spread this pattern in two places to make more room. I also had to raise the rise. And look at, I must have been at my parents' the day I did this because I used actual newspaper print to add rise there. And I also extended my crotch point. So this pattern has been my personal pattern since 2009, and it's going to be something I'm going to want to store in my, my new vinyl storage bags. So I thought this was fun to look at. Oh, I also did a full tummy adjustment. So see, I spread it here, and it opened up here to make room for my tummy that I did not have when I first made these jeans. So this is sort of the evolution of how I got this to fit me from when I used to be a skinny mini to being a curvy lady now. Oh, D. Klug says, I have some and haven't used them. Now I will. Thanks. Oh, please, D, use them. They're so cool. I use them all the time. I even use the So Tight Lights, which is a very a lightweight magnetic strength. I use that as a guide on my knitting patterns to keep me, I put them in page protector, and then I use the light ones that aren't that strong to keep me on the right row. Oh, Suri says the history of this pattern. Yes, this pattern, and just fun fact, this is the first pattern. I launched J Stern Designs in 2009, and I did jeans, women's jeans, the tee, and a top with 2 collars and a peplum, and khaki pants. This is my original first pattern ever. So you can see I used it so much that I backed it in dotted paper. So love this pattern. I'm going to save this pattern. The plan is going to be, if anyone was not with me on New Year's Day and you want to check that out, it is in the live section of my YouTube channel, but I showed how to make these vinyl project bags. Okay, so this is, see if I can make it, this is as big as I can make it. Let me see if I can get it a little bit higher. Is that even, let's make sure it's nice and sharp. There we go. But basically, let me just scooch myself in a little bit more here. But basically, I took vinyl that was big enough to allow me to lay my patterns flat, and I sewed the whole bottom edge together. I caught a pocket, so this is a pocket for fabric, so I can keep notes on what's in here. And then to make it easy to get in and out, I basically only sewed it to here, and then I put Velcro here and here, so you can unvelcro it, get easy access to what's inside, right? And then my goal is, and I still haven't thought about this any further, but basically what I'd like to do is hang them on my wall. Let me just show you here. So I made this little hanger, and the only thing is the side droops like this, so I have to figure out, I'm either going to shape it and cut off the ends, shape them like this, or I'll figure out a different way to hang them, or maybe I'll put 2 hangers. I'm just not sure what I want to do yet. That's why I'm taking my time, because once I do it, I want it to be good. But what I want you to notice here is, notice how if I have this in here, I'll be able to hang it, and the pieces will stay nice and flat because they're between 2 pieces of vinyl, and they're going to take up no room. So that's my plan for organizing all my patterns. And actually, what might really help this be a super dream is if I take one of these and just clamp it to the top. So look at this. If I take the So Tight and I clamp all the layers together, so that's through all the plastic, right? And I have probably 8 layers of paper in there because I have Anna and my shirt jacket. So I have the fronts, the backs, the sleeves, the collar pieces. But notice if I have the So Tight there, that will ensure that this is they're not gonna slide to the bottom of the bag, is my point. And that way they'll stay nice and clean, organized. I can see what's in there. I've got my note for writing what's in the bag, and I'm going to make a bunch of these, not one for each pattern, but I'm going to make categories. So basically this is going to be my shirt, button-down shirts, woven shirt bag. I'm going to have a pants bag. I'm going to have a gift pattern bag. Like I made PJs for my nephews, and I made that holiday cozy wrap. If anybody made that, I'm going to start a bag, an organizer just for projects that are for holidays or gifts. And yeah, so Zuri wants me to do hangers. I may do hangers, but here's the thing. I don't want anything bulky here. I literally want something skinny like this. I'm going to put big command hooks on my walls so I can literally pick them off and put them back without having an extra piece to worry about. Because I know me, if I use a hanger to hang them, then the hanger will get separated. I won't be able to find it. Then I'll throw this under my table and it won't go back on the hook. So I'm definitely going to use hooks, but I may do 2 of these. This is just a piece of leather. So if I put one here and here, I think that will keep it nice. And I'll just put 2 command hooks. Then it'll be twice as strong. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm anticipating using that space back there for my patterns, because I have nothing in that corner but a pile of mess that we will get to on a different FabFit Friday. So that's how my patterns are going to look. And like I said, I really thought I was just going to zoom them out before today so I could show you all of my organized patterns. But here's what happened. Oh, I realized that before I make any more covers, I want to make sure I have what I'm going to make a cover for. So this is my, let me just make this a little bit less. There, that's better. Okay, so this is these are my Sorsha Classic Slim trousers, and I have a bunch of different versions of it. So basically I want to be able to, let me put this, I want to be able to also know what things are. Now here is a danger. This pattern right here, I traced this version. See, there's the back. Here's the front. And then I think during a class, I showed how to design the pocket pieces. They're all pinned on, but I didn't make any notes on here as to what it is. I don't know which pattern I used, because I also have, this version is my linen trouser pattern where I made the leg wider for linen fabric and it's higher waisted. So what I did was I wrote that on a Post-it note so I can keep track of what that is. Then I have my tan pants that I made that are the original leg, and they are to the natural waist. They're a little less high in the rise. And then I did, if any of you saw my bendable ruler experiment where I actually did a crotch template for myself here, and then I used it to adjust this crotch. So I made another pair of Sorsha Classic Slim trousers with that slight adjustment, and I have all of these versions. And so before I put them in those vinyl bags, I'm going to want to make sure that I label everything so I know what's in the bag, because sometimes it's more than one version of any pattern. Because I like to, I have corduroy that I want to make Sorsha Classic Slim trousers. I guarantee you I'm going to end up with a 4th pattern where I play with it and do some more fine-tune fitting. I'm constantly fine-tune fitting my pants patterns. So that's going to be a lot. Like Sorsha Classic Slim trousers might end up getting its own bag, protective bag, because I use it a lot. And then I also have my stretch jeans made easy. So I just want to make sure that everything has all the information. And then I'm sure I'm going to come upon patterns that I don't know what they are, because like this one, I didn't make any notes on it. I have no idea what this is, because it could have been any of these 3, and I'd have to try it, right? It's not a tried and true pattern because I don't know what fabric it's for or whatever. So I'm going to have a bunch of patterns in my stash that I don't know if I'm going to keep them, because if there's no notes on them, Or I know I'm going to find patterns in that box that don't have all the pieces together. So that's where I am in my pattern disaster. Oh, Clug says use colored dots and color code the bags. That's a good idea. I think I may do that. And I actually have a fun sticker collection that I bought. Oh, I can't find it now. I'll show you on a different day. But basically, that's a really good idea, and I probably will color code things. But basically, this is where I am, and because I had to make those Roman shades, that blew all of my time to get going on these patterns. RT Blades, hello, Happy New Year. H. Sawyer says, good ideas, thanks. Lazaro says, Happy New Year, Jen, and everybody. I sometimes use big Ziploc bags with a vacuum valve to save important patterns. You know what? I have my Perfectly Fitted Shirt workshop. I have every size and every cup size sewn up, and I use those big Ziploc bags as little garment bags over them. Those are great for storing things. That's a really good idea. Oh, thank you for sending me patience. I need patience. I just want to mush up this whole room and make it into a perfect room in like overnight. And I can see it's going to take me a month or longer. I don't know. But I want to be able to come in here and really just start working and not have to find things. Now, I will tell you, this thing back here, one of my friends gave me this, and this has been the most amazing thing because I can see all the pockets. I always know my camera's right here, my battery pack is right here, the thing for my monopod is right here, different notions I use, I can see them. Here's my card reader right here. So I'm going to do more things where I can visually see, or I'll label drawers or whatever. So I really just want to be able to come in here and work. Now, the other thing I may do, the table that I'm working on is a 4x8 table. And what ends up happening, I just want to show you, see how at the end here, all of that space back there, I mean, I do have two thread racks on it, but really that space is wasted because I never use it for anything except making messes and piling things. And if I showed you the corner behind my computer, you know, back over there, it's the same thing. That corner just is a place to pile mess. So I may actually cut down my work surface and make it a little smaller, or I may reconfigure the room. That'll be the last thing I do. I have to clean everything up before I decide if I want to move things around, because I also have my camera over here. Look, and I never gave my cousin Lynn that wrap yet. I still have to give her that. But see this right here? This is on a huge tripod. See that tripod? So that takes up a lot of room. And then I also have my embroidery machine right next to it there, and that takes up a lot of room. So I have a few things that are very big in this room that I have to organize and make it usable and nice. One of the things that I think may happen, I have across the hall my daughter's room, and my younger daughter moved out. So we may turn my younger daughter's room into an office for my daughter who still lives here. She's gonna find a job any day now, and we'll make her an office, and then I can use more of the space back here. So see how the back room wall, you know, I can use that better as well. So I've got a lot of space that I can probably be using much more efficiently, and I can also use some of Abby's room. We've got some big shelves in there. So I'm going to start putting things in there that are seasonal. So like if I'm working on winter stuff, summer stuff is going to go in there. So that way I don't have to sift through the summer stuff to find the winter stuff or whatever. So that's where I am. And the last thing I guess I want to say today is, oh, pegboards. I do have a pegboard. See, it's right there. Hold on. See it right there, that little blue thing behind my fan that's behind the shelf? That's a pegboard I made. So that's going to go on the wall. That's definitely going to go on the wall as soon as I figure out where to put it. So, so that's all I want to talk about today in terms of my cleaning. I promise next FabFit Friday I will have significant progress to show you. And I'm hoping as I work along, I'll come up with other good ideas to maybe help you guys organize your spaces. I do just want to tell everybody, if you didn't watch my live New Year's Day special live, I do have 2 fitting workshops, and I'm actually hosting my first in-person Come to Me workshop in Manchester, Connecticut on March 8th, 9th, and 10th. And it's going to be at the Hampton Inn in Manchester. It's about a 20-minute drive from Bradley International Airport if someone would like to come and they have to fly in. I've gotten some sign-ups. I'm definitely going to have it regardless of how many more people sign up. So if anyone would like to join me, it's going to be a really immersive, take your time, pants fitting opportunity, because I really find that, you know, when I teach these live in-person pants fitting classes, let's say at ASG, and we have one day and I work with 24 students, I get really close with almost everybody. So imagine what we could do with 3 days. And I'm only, I'm keeping the registration to I'm keeping the registration to 12, and one lucky student will get the workshop for free. We're going to draw a name out of a hat at dinner on Friday, and one person will get refunded the cost of the workshop. So I want to remind everybody about that. I'm also teaching Zoom jean fitting on January 20 and 21st. So if anybody would like to join me for that, I put links to both of those classes in the description below. Let me just stop here and see. Sally says, I love your hanging vinyl organizer. Great idea to put electronic device parts in one of those. By Annie, has a great pattern for those kind of hangers. That's excellent. To make my pattern, I'm laying my pieces down, and I'm going to make each cover fit the pants, like fit the patterns I'm putting in there. So like my pants cover will be longer and skinnier, and you know, whatever sizes. That's why I really need to go through everything and get like a list of the dimensions of what I need to make, and then I'm just going to make them all up. Let me see here. Lois says, I know it can be overwhelming. Take your time. It is, but I also, so I want to thank you guys for joining me, because part of my big conundrum was, I thought to myself, how can I come up with FabFit Friday projects when I'm also trying to do my studio? So combining FabFit Friday with doing my studio is going to make me accountable. It's also going to give me the time to do it. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and watching this mess unfold into a neat room, I guess, because otherwise I'd never get it done. I thought I was going to do it last year and I didn't. So I appreciate you guys coming for that. Sally says, I also love the idea of your in-person in Manchester. The dates don't work for me this year, but I hope it's successful and you do another in the future. I do think I'm going to start doing more of my own hosted workshops, because what inspired this one, honestly, was the fact that I spent a week at Sew Expo. I had an amazing time at Sew Expo last year, but the check I ended up bringing home didn't even cover my Airbnb and my flight, because it's all the way on the West Coast. And I only taught 2 classes, but I was there a week on 2 workshops, two classes and 2 lectures. I had an amazing time, but that's a lot of travel. Plus I lose a day on either end for travel. So I thought if I do some of my own, that would be just better for me all the way around. So I am excited about it, and yay. So I'm happy that you are excited too. Oh, Pat says your Fabric Mart class is now on their site. Yes, I organized a class on Fabric Mart. It's going to be February 3rd. It's going to be on a Saturday, and it's going to be leggings, yoga pants, leggings, tights, maker's choice. So you can make whatever style knit pant using the yoga pants pattern that you would like. And I decided to include that pattern of the PDF version with the class. You don't even have to buy the pattern. So I'm excited about that as well. Zuri says we're going to learn so much. Oh, good. Amit says, hi, how are you? Thank you for coming. H. Sawyer says you're inspiring us to organize more. Well, honestly, I almost feel like an embarrassment because, I mean, I should have a nice place to work. This is my job, and it's a mess. So I'm really going to turn over a new leaf this year, and I'm going to reorganize it in a way where I can hopefully keep it organized. So I love you, H. Sawyer. Thank you so much. And Zuri says we're going to learn so much. Oh, well, I hope so. I hope that I can inspire you guys, and maybe I'll have a tip or something to help you organize something you have in your studio that's a little bit of a conundrum. But in any case, that is my report for today. I think I'm going to start to ramble now. So I've talked about all the things I want to talk about. If anybody has any, Zuri says not embarrassing at all. I will tell you that many years ago, I would say, at least 8 years ago, I had this very nice woman wanted a private shirt fitting class with me. And I normally don't do private classes, but she really wanted to come, and I thought, fine, come. I opened the door. She was as cute as a button. She was this perfectly dressed, perfect hairdo. She had high heels on, a little suit. She was adorable. And I brought her up to my studio, and I think I scared the bejesus out of her because after she stayed and we worked on her pattern all day, but then once she left, I never heard from her again, and she did not respond to me. So I think I scared her in my studio. So that was one of my wake-up calls that I really needed to maybe gussy myself up a little bit. Plus, it's annoying. I can't work. Like, I don't want to have to run down to the dining room table every time I want to work on something. So that's big. So there you are. All right, let's see. Oh, Diane says, eager to watch your year unfold. Thank you, Diane. I'm excited. This is going to be my year, I think, for fabulosity and efficiency, so I can get more things done. That's what I'm hoping for. So yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I know. I think I scared her. But that's why I don't do private lessons in my studio, because I spent all my cleaning time making sure that the bathroom was immaculate. So I should have taught the lesson in the bathroom, and then she would have been fine. But anyway, so it's fine. I'm turning over a new leaf, and I'm going to become a neat person. Just like, I added nails to my YouTube look, so people like that. So I figure I can, do more nice things. But anyway, so there you are. Oh, the year of Jen. There you go, Diane. It's going to be amazing and cozy to work when it's done. It is. And I will tell you, I also have some new, I don't know if I told you, I gave away 2 of my dress forms because I have my French European, I have my Ditto form, and I have my original dress form my friend Eric gave me. I had 2 other dress forms, and I gifted those to people who needed them, that work at this fabric store that I go to, and there's these young women who are designing things and they needed bigger sizes. So I gave my 2 dress forms away that I just had taking up space. I mean, I don't need 2 size 18s. And then I had this other dress right dress form from back in the day. I gave that one away. But now I have a size 6 dress form with legs. And I think what I'm going to do with that, once I get everything set up and cleaned in here, I'm going to bring it upstairs, and I'm going to mark it in half, and then I'm going to make 1/2 of it my size. So I can drape pants on the size that's my size, because 6 is twice as small as me, or more than twice as small as me. But I'm going to experiment with making a half dress form with one side from center front to center back and make that whole side fit me and my leg measurement. And that way I can hang pants on there and see how they're doing and whatever. So I'm going to be playing with that probably by summer. But anyway, um, so Barbara says when you run in the dining room table, then your notions get moved from your one room to the other and lost, and you don't know where you're working. That's true. I have seam rippers. I have other things down there that should be up here because I keep bringing things down and then forgetting to bring them back up. Oh, Lazaro says, ha ha ha. Yes, the nails are a big, big keep. Well, you know what? I did these when I was shooting the threads pants class that I did, because I used to bite my nails, and Sarah's like, you really got to do your nails. And then it was my 80-year-old dad who said, Jennifer, you have to keep those nails going there. They look nice, and you have a YouTube channel. So I'm keeping them going for my dad, really, but also they're fun and I like them. So, let's see. Oh, Zuri says such a great idea. And Sandra says, I clean my studio as soon as I turn around. It implodes, so I'm excited to learn your organizing tips. That's what I'm hoping to prevent, Sandra. I'm hoping to prevent me cleaning it and then literally messing it up in a month. I want to, as I clean, I'm going to really try to strategize on how I can keep it clean. And that's what I'm hoping to share with you. Julie says, hi, I understand you're working and not wanting to stop organizing your space. Unfortunately, I'm like that with my entire home, trying not to be that way. When I'm organized, it's amazing. I know, that's true. So I'm burning it on both ends, because in addition to working on this, I'm also trying to stay ahead of my puppy, who's literally chewing through things every time I fix it. So, but she's 6 months old now, so hopefully in another few months she'll be better, because she's already getting better. She's a really good girl. She just likes to chew stuff. So hoping she grows out of that very quickly. Zuri says the nails are lovely. Thank you, Zuri. All right, so yay. I am going to get off this FabFit Friday, and I'm going to stay in here till I have every pattern piece in this box right here organized. So I'm not leaving this room until I have all of these things cataloged and organized, so I know where they're going to need to go in terms of how many vinyl carry bags I need to make, or hang bags. That's my goal for today. Barbara said, I saw a beautiful wired dress form, but didn't dare buy it because I'm too disorganized to have room for it. I have another that I want to pad up, but it's slow going. I know, it's hard to fit all these things in, but maybe if I do a pad up project with my full dress form, you can join along then. You know, maybe I'll have some tips for you for that. Oh, Pat says my space needs a snow shovel to sort it out. I am blessed to have so much and I need to care for it. Well, you know what? I feel that way too. And you know, things like this, you know, make me want to have a nice space, because if I have nice notions, you know, I can create a space where everything is nice like this, and then I can use it and have it and work with it and not be running around looking for things. So, you know, I want to make my nice notions proud, I guess, because this is only a new thing for me. I don't know if you remember, but I was really anti-gadgets until recently. I used to try to make do with, you know, using what I had without buying gadgets, but now I'm a gadget queen, so I need to keep them organized, and I don't want to lose them or look for them. So I have to care for my stuff too. So there you are. So I think we're off to a great start, 2024. My room is messier than it was last week, but I feel like it's going to come together. So next week, I promise to have a fully organized pattern collection to show you, and I'll be moving on to the next thing I'm going to organize as soon as I get all the patterns organized. So that's my plan, and I'm hoping to have some tips and tricks for you along the way. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I really appreciate it. You're inspiring me to clean, because, you know, I feel like if I have people watching, then I have to do it. right? I'm putting myself out there, so it will give me extra inspiration to get this done. So I really appreciate you guys. So thank you so much. And let's just see what Victoria says. I missed live. I was sleeping. I did a sleep test last night and only partially slept. Oh, Victoria, I'm so sorry. I hope this sleep test works out okay. But you can watch the replay. It's basically me showing you my mess and how I'm trying to organize and how I'm behind schedule already. That's basically the theme for today. Barbara says, when my kids were in school, I would organize my sewing after summer vacation, and then they would tear it apart looking for Halloween supplies. Yes, that's exactly what I do to myself. I put things away and then I tear everything apart looking for a project, and then I don't put it back. So that's something I have to stop. I'm not a kid anymore. So hopefully your kids are not doing that anymore. But I know it's hard. But anyway, all right. So I'm going to go now because now I'm starting to ramble. And Sari says, oh, Barbara, have fun. Can't wait to see it finished. Well, it's going to be a while before I finish, but I do want to show you shiny nooks in my room. So as I clean areas, I can show you how they look so much better than they did. So I think after patterns, I might tackle fabric, because I have fabric in closets, I have fabric in bins, I have fabric across the hall, I have piles of fabric on chairs. So the fabric's going to be the second thing I organize. So anyway, all right, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. If you're in the path of the snowstorm coming up the East Coast, please be careful. Personally, I'm looking forward to a little bit of snow because we have not had a significant snowstorm in Connecticut in probably 3 years. So, or 2 years or 3 years. I'm really looking forward to it on Sunday to have some snow. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next Friday. And also, there will be there will be Fit Tip Tuesday this week and Cool Tools on Monday. I was taking a little bit of a break over the holidays, but I'm going to rev all that back up too. All right, so thank you guys for watching and have a lovely weekend. All right, bye.